Bookies. My name is Hannah and today we're doing the A to Z survey, book survey, which is a survey where each question has something to do with the letter of the alphabet and they're all about reading and books, so I was super excited to do it and we're gonna do it today, so let's go.
A. An author that you've read the most books from.
And I think that author would be Cassandra Clare or Rick Riordan, because I have read a lot of their books but I don't know quite how many of each, so let's find out real quick. So I have 3 authors tied for first with 8 books, which doesn't sound like a lot, which is really kind of weird to me because I feel like I've read a lot more of a certain series. So it's Cassandra Clare, I read 8 of her books, and then it's Rick Riordan, I've read 8 of his, and then it is James Patterson, and I have read 8 of his. So I guess it's kind of a 3-way tie with those guys, unless I think of something later.
B is for the best sequel ever.
Okay, so I'm going to do the same author that I did for the last one, but it is The Sea of Monsters by Percy Jackson and the Olympians. It's the second book of that series. This is my favorite book of the whole series. I love it to death, like legit. There's nothing of this book that I don't like, so I think maybe this is the best sequel to The Lightning Thief. And if you are going on the movies, don't, because the movies were. Let's not get into that. So I think right now it is The Sea of Monsters.
C is for currently reading.
So I am currently reading Poison Study by Maria V. Schneider. I just can't find it anywhere. I started it a long time ago and you can consider it that I'm currently reading it, but I think I'm stopping with it for right now. And I just recently finished my last book, so I guess right now I'm not currently reading anything. But I am going to start rereading the Incarnate series, and then hopefully I'm going to get to 6 of Crows by Leigh Bardugo.
D. The drink of choice while reading.
I like water, which sounds probably super weird because I don't know, I don't drink a lot of water, but during the cold winter days when it's raining, I like hot chocolate. I like to drink hot chocolate when it's cold, and sometimes it's kind of like tea but I don't like tea, and then it's kind of like coffee but I don't like coffee. Hot chocolate is the perfect mix between the two.
E. Ebook or physical book?
Physical book, all the way. As much as I have appreciation for ebooks, because yes, they are easier to carry around and they are easier to keep clean, I prefer the book. The smell, the feeling, the awkward way you have to hold it when you're in public. I just love everything about physical books, so it will always be physical books for me. I've had a lot of Nooks in the past, and I've tried Kindle, I've tried everything, and none of it works for me. So sorry, it's always going to be physical books, and they're kind of like a dying race, so it's kind of sad now.
Fictional character you probably would have dated in high school.
I didn't date anybody in high school. I haven't dated anybody. I don't know, I feel like the person I would have to date would kind of have to be nerdy for me. I don't know, Park from Eleanor and Park probably? He's the first one that popped in my head. Probably Simon. Simon or Park. So Simon from the Mortal Instruments series or Park from Eleanor and Park. They're the only 2 that I could think of that I would probably, in reality, date. I'd probably have, I don't know, I'm not trying to be mean to them, I'm trying to be mean to me. I'd probably only have chances with them. Because if it was someone you'd like to date in high school, well then yeah, I'd go for Ren or Jace or, what the hell is his name? So many people, So I think realistically it would be Simon or Park.
G. Glad you gave this book a chance.
The only one that I can think of that I am glad I finally gave a chance to, because I'd been holding it off forever, I wasn't even interested in reading this book, is Shadow and Bone by Leigh Bardugo. I've picked it up a lot, and every time I picked it up I was always oh, it doesn't sound interesting, it sounds I don't know. Even the cover, I guess the cover in a way back then threw me off to the point that I was I'm really not interested in reading you. I read it, and there's not as many as all my other books, but still quite a few, and I still love this book. It was still an amazing read, so I'm very glad I gave this book a chance.
Hidden gem book.
Incarnate by Jodi Meadows. This series is amazing and nobody knows about it, and I feel like when I found this, my little sister found it on Nook. She found it on Nook and she told me about it, and I immediately hooked. I was like, oh well, maybe I'll pick it up and I'll read it. So I read it on Nook, ironically, and I ended up buying the whole series on paperback because I was so entranced. I was in love with the whole series, and so I feel like it's a hidden gem of a book that no one knows about. So, Incarnate.
The important moment in your reading life.
I think this moment is probably when I realized that there are books outside of the teen section that I would be very interested in. And this started when I was watching one of Sasha's, not one of her vlogs, but one of her, I think it was a tag or something. And Sasha is a book utopia. She's amazing. She writes her own books. You guys should go check her out. I fully support it. She's absolutely amazing. But while she was doing this tag, she pulled out this book. And I never heard of this book. And she pulled it out and she said, this book is amazing. So I picked it up and I realized this is an adult book. And I had been in the teen section all of my reading life. Like I barely ever went into the child section. But the teen section was like my home. So when I picked up Outlander by Diana Gabaldon, I knew that there was a whole other world of other books that I would be interested in reading. And so that is the biggest change in my reading life, when I realized, yep, I can start moving out of the teen section now. There are still books out there that would interest me.
Just finished.
I just finished Shadow and Bone by Leigh Bardugo, which you guys just heard about, and again, I'm going to say this again, it was an amazing book with a betrayal I will probably never get over.
Ever.
I like this tag. This is a good tag. I like it quite a bit.
Kinds of books you won't read.
I tend to not want to read contemporary. I do own a few contemporary and I will pick them up when I'm in it has to be a very specific mood for a very specific book. But I'm trying to really think. I really don't think there's any other book that I wouldn't pick up. Maybe hardcore like sex books. Like I haven't read 50 Shades of Grey, and Outlander is probably as far as I'm going to go with that kind of thing. If you read Outlander, you know what I'm talking about. But that is probably as far as I'm going to go into those kind of, like, that kind of...
Oh, the longest book you've read.
See, this is going to make me feel horrible because I haven't read that many books this year. And so I'm thinking maybe it might be Outlander again, which isn't even like a huge book, not like a, oh, that's an impressive amount of book. But I think that might be it.
M. Major book hangover for.
I don't want to keep going back to Shadow and Bone because I have been thinking about that quite a bit lately. But I think it might have been for Glittering Court by Rochelle Mead. It's a good book. It's kind of mixed in, kind of the way the selection is, and they're all kind of, you know, very similar in that way. I mean, I really fell in love with this book, and so I ended it, and I found out that there wasn't going to be a second one out for a while. I could not, this is probably what started my book hangover, honestly, is because I just stopped reading for a while, and I thought, what's the point anymore if I can't read the second Glittering Court? So it was either that or Me Before You. I haven't picked up Me After You because Me Before You just shattered me. So I don't know, that's probably one of the most difficult questions, but there it is, that answer.
The number of bookcases I own.
I have one over here, one over there, and two behind me, and then I have one still at my other house, and it doesn't have a lot of books on it, but it's got my manga and my children's series on it. So I've got 5 bookshelves, and I'm quite proud of them, and I am actually looking into buying another one. Yay. As a household though, counting my sisters, we had 7, which is a ton of bookshelves, I think.
One book you have read multiple times.
Tiger's Curse by Colleen Hooke. I can just, when I'm feeling a little down, I kind of want a little pick-me-up book, I will pick up Tiger's Curse by Colleen Hooke. It's such a good book. It's such a good series. I don't own the second, I don't own the third, I only own the first, and I still am in love with it as the day I read it in 9th grade. It's so good. So I've read this so many times.
Preference place to read.
I prefer out on my couch because it's a reclining couch and I can get very cozy in there. The problem is when I get super cozy on the couch, I decide to fall asleep reading a book and then I lose my page and then I give up on the book. It's a very big problem. It's that or my bed, and then I have this nice blue chair over here that I will show you real quick. Kitty, 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 kitty. So I've got this nice blue chair and I do sometimes like to read in this chair. It's a very nice comfy chair. The only problem is that it is very stiffed back and very forming. So those are the answers.
Q. Quote that inspires you.
I've never really had a quote that has stuck to me. I mean, I'm sure I've read thousands of quotes that I'm like, yeah, that's a pretty good quote. But I haven't found any that I'm like, oh yes, that is the quote to describe my life. The only one I can think of is from Doctor Who, which doesn't even count because, you know, this isn't a Doctor Who tag, this is a book tag, but I will tell you the Doctor Who quote anyway. It is, hate is too strong of an emotion to waste on someone you don't like. And whenever I say I hate something, I always run that through my head and I kind of feel a little less angry, but other than that, I really can't think of anything that came from books that I absolutely have in my heart forever. So, sorry.
Reading regret.
I regret not picking up Harry Potter when I was younger.
You haven't read Harry Potter?
No, I haven't read Harry Potter. Sorry.
Series that you started that you need to finish, and all of the books are out in the series.
Well, this is going to take a while because that's quite a lot of books for me. I haven't finished the City of Bones series. I haven't finished the Court of Thorns and Roses yet. Lux series. These Broken Stars. Cinder. Outlander. Stephanie Perkins, haven't finished them yet. Tiger's Curse, nope. Reawakened, don't even think about it. I haven't finished the Heroes of Olympus series. I haven't finished Divergent series. I haven't finished the Maximum Ride series. It goes on and on, guys, I swear, okay? Let's just leave it at those however many I just counted.
T. 3 of your all-time favorite books.
This is like choosing between children, and I think that's a very cruel thing to have to do. But if I had to choose 3 out of the top of my head, it would be Tiger's Curse, A Court of Thorns and Roses, and Incarnate. Those are my 3 for right now, but ask me tomorrow and I'm sure they're going to change.
You. Unapologetically fangirl for...
I am an unapologetic fangirl for all of the fandoms I'm in. Doctor Who, X-Files, Disney, Ghibli. I'm into anime. I am unapologetic for anime. And then I'm into a bunch of kids shows like Miraculous Ladybug and Avatar The Last Airbender, and just, yeah, I'm not even afraid to admit it.
V. Very excited for this release above all other releases.
Okay, so I've been out of the book community for quite a while. I haven't really been paying attention to anything, but I know that Cassandra Clare is coming out with another series based in, I think, 1903 or something. She's got a Pinterest board for it, guys. You should go look at that. Just go check her blog, CassandraClare.com, or hold on, I'll look it up real quick. Yes, CassandraClare.com. Go check out CassandraClare.com. And she's got a series coming out called The Last Hours. Let's see. The Last Hours is a new Shadowhunter series set in 1903. It deals with the next generation after Will, Tess, and Jem, as well as Charlotte and Henry's children.
The worst bookish habit I have.
I like to eat and drink around my books, but I don't think that's the biggest book habit. When I'm really super, it's an old habit, I don't do it anymore, but now that I think about it, I used to do it a lot and it's horrible. And I can't imagine doing it anymore. I will show you though on this book that I remember doing it on, okay? Beastly, Alex Flynn. See how the spine's broken? I'd be reading it and I'd fold it like that. Oh god. that was my worst bookish habit, but I think now my worst bookish habit is I'll shove books in my backpack, so I'll read them during work during the day, and then like I'll shove them this way, so when I shove more stuff in it, it goes into the pages. Or I will just lazily like drink and eat around my books. I'm really awful with that. We're almost done.
X marks the spot. Go to the top shelf of your bookshelf and choose the 27th book.
Now, the weird thing is, I'm going to do this twice because I can go all the way across over here, and then I can go just down. So I'm going to do that twice real quick, so let's go.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27.
So the first one is Zodiac by Romina Russell. I haven't read that yet, but I do love the cover. I love space. Let's do it again.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27.
Percy Jackson, Greek Gods. I loved Percy Jackson, and I just think the way they did this book, it's all history about Greek gods. It's so funny. So if you like want to know more about Greek gods, here you go. And it's set in Percy. Like Percy's the one doing it, so it's freaking hilarious.
My latest book purchase.
Oh, that's easy. Okay. The last book I bought was A Court of Winds and Ruin by Sarah J. Maas. I want to finish this series. I almost bought the coloring book, but I know if I bought the coloring book, it would just sit there because I'd be too afraid to use it.
Z, the book that kept you up way past your bedtime.
I think the last book I read in my bed that did keep me up about 12:30 at night was, again, Shadow and Bone by Leigh Bardugo. I do love the series. I love the book. That is it for the A to Z shelf survey, or whatever it's called. I'll put it down there. Thank you so much for joining me, and I will see you guys in the next one. Rock on! Hey guys, I'm Hannah at Heck Yeah Books, and today me and my sister, who you are going to meet in just a few seconds, we are doing the siblings tag. So she is standing behind the camera.